Philippines baskets are constructed from bamboo and rattan and often a combination of the two. Plating and twinning produces a wide range of sizes and forms. Filipinos use basket for transportation. Next is tampipi. Household items are secured in basket clothing and blankets are kept fresh and dry in lidded containers. A tampipi is a common basket type for storing clothing and blankets. The next is winnowing. Winnowing trays are used to separate rice from its hull. Serving trays present rice and other foods for consumption. The baskets shown here are from the Bontoc Igorot people of the mountain area of Luzon Island. Fish traps are placed in swift-flowing streams and simpler baskets are used to carry crops from the field. The next product is inabuntan. Unique to northern Luzon Island is the inabuntan or hunter's bag. It is constructed to be rain resistant, providing a dry storage space from hunter gear and game. Wood carvings from the Cordillera and southern Luzon regions. Looking for an eye-catching display piece to liven up your home? These local wood carvings, considered to be among the best-selling handicrafts in the Philippines by region, are exactly what you should be purchasing. In the northern region of the Cordilleras, you can find fantastic wood carvings done by members of Ifugao tribe. Next is bulol, o or bulol. Bulol, also known as bulol or tinagtagu, is a carven wood figure used to guard the rice crop by the Ifugao and their subtribe Kalanguya, peoples of northern Luzon. The sculptures are highly styled representations of ancestors and are thought to gain power and wealth from the presence of the ancestral spirits. The next is wood carvings in Paete. Paete, Laguna is really proud about their wood carvings. Paete, whose name was derived after Chisel or Paet, is a small town on the northeastern part of Laguna. It is famous for its sweet lanzones and its finely made woodcraft that it was declared the carving capital of the Philippines on March 15, 2005. They are simply amazing at it. From making statues, sculptures, furniture to the other things that you can name of the can be made of wood. And the next product is Maranao wood carvers. Maranao wood carvers further down south of the Philippine Islands are the Maranao Muslim wood carvers. Figural representations in their craft are taboo to the Maranao wood carvers. Natural forms are allowed only on the condition that they are denatured. Because of the limitation, the Maranao wood carvers use the okil motif of their works. The okil motif is rich in Sasanian character, the flowing floral forms, and S movements. The Filipino Muslim adaptation of the okil has a strong indigenous character deriving inspiration to native. Next is metalcraft. Metalcraft from southern Luzon and Mindanao regions. If you are feeling adventurous and you want to bring home something edgy, then this handicraft from the Philippines by region is the perfect fit. The southern Luzon region, particularly the province of Batangas, is well known locally and internationally as an excellent source for a local portable knife known as balisong. The Igorot head hunting axe, the highland plutocracy of The Cordilleras were one of the known oldest polities that inhabited the ancient Philippines. They are already around by 500 BC and had started working is now famous Banawi rice terraces. This axe is the prominent weapon of the Igor society since they are known for head hunting practice. The panabas, a long sword of battle axe, it's been used mostly by the polities of Mindanao Island, but also reached Luzon and Visayas in its heyday. It was used as combat weapon, as an execution tool, and a display of power. Occasionally used as an agricultural and butchering tools has also been noted. The barong is a thick, leaf-shaped, single-edged blade sword. It is a weapon used by Muslim Filipino ethno-linguistic groups like the Tausug, Samabajao, or Yakan in the southern Philippines. The next is jewelry. Jewelry from Central Luzon, Southern Luzon, and Mindanao regions. For the fashionable ones, this country also has exquisite pieces of jewelry, which are also among the best handicrafts in the Philippines. From the region of Central Luzon, particularly from the province of Bulacan, you can find great handicrafted gold jewelry. You can also find similar ones from Mindanao regions. But down south, you can also get impressive brass amulets and other accessories. In Mindanao and parts of southern Luzon, it's a must to bring home with you amazing pieces of pearl jewelry. The example is tambourine necklace. The tambourine necklace was patterned after the rosary. Early version of this necklace followed the rosary bead pattern, but by the early 19th century, it became very ornamental, and different styles and patterns came out. Even the relicario or reliquary pendants, which originally had religious design like the monstrance and chalice, started coming out with nature-inspired themes like flowers and leaves. Next is Buaya necklace. Buaya necklace, a very rare old necklace of the Ifugao called Buaya. In the past, only successful headhunters were allowed to wear this Buaya necklace. The chain is comprised of 11 pendants, cut and sharpened into pointed shapes, and made of thick shell material, mother of pearl. The next necklace is, or jewelry is, baliog. Baliog, also spelled baliog, are traditional layered necklace of various ethnic groups in the islands of Visayas and Mindanao in the Philippines. They consist of chokers and necklaces with a fringe of beads and other ornaments. More than one is usually worn, layered over each other. And now the video of example of basketry and history.
Ako si Lelen Fabian, taga Barangay General Luna, San Remio Antique. Ang Barangay General Luna halin sa Amon barangay pagto sa may San Remio mga 8 kilometers. Ang panawon makadabot sa paradahan kang terminal kang sarakyan pagtuyo sa Sibalom. Ngitaan naman kang kang kawayan nga pagi sa pagpasan ginatingga-tingga magdara pa dulhog. Ay kuno ibitbitin lang namon ra. Gamay lang madara namon. Mahalin kami sa amon mga 5:30 sa aga. Dabot kami sa Banwang Daan mga alas 7:30. Makasakay kami kara sa jeep alin sa may Suba mga alas 8. Okay, labot kami si Balo mga alas 9:30 o kaya alas 10. Diyan lang kami gaturog kung katunga una turog kami diyan sa mga puno kahoy, nagahimo lang kami krapal. Te kadya nagsinsya kami diyan sa mga kubo-kubo, tingin di sa gusto. Ito kami sa CR, kilid ka CR. Yan lang kami gahimo lang kami krapal. Ang edad ko kadya kapag aring kamaan ako mga 19 ako, umpisa ako nga ng sawa. Amo diyan una ko nga gintunan, amo magani ang pamabuyan ka mga tao dito. Di kay ura man ako ti pangita tapos ang bana ko ura man. Tinagtuon ni ako kadya ag bakal ka amon nga mga kaldero. Yan. Nandumdumaan ko lang. Nandumdumaan ko lang kung ano kabudlay ang pag-umpisa ka nga pagtuon. Adya nga, basta ako nag-aram. Basta nga, nakabakal kami nga amon mga gamit sa panimalay namin. Ginaantos ko lang pagpulaw, pagtuon. Basta nga, makabakal ako kaamon gamitin. Di ka dyan mo, yung ginaubra ko. Amo yung inobra ko kada semana. Basta nga, may pangalawan siya ang aking mga bataan giskwila. Ang aking mga bata, 11 kabilog. Nag-eskwela. Tapos, kung may mga balidya ka nga ginakumpra naman, gapangutang man ako sa mayan, sa mga tao nga ginabaydan kada semana. Amura. Ati ang akin mo, obra ka dyan, ano lang man mo kada semana. Amo lang man ra, ang akin mamahan. Order ya Tapos amo lang man ra, sakto lang man pang-allowance kang estudyante ko 3 bilog. Ang akararaw dyan, taga 100, pero bakit ginti akin tanan dyan mong ginangkumpra ko lang. Ang ra akin nimo ra taga bigya ko tag 30, 100 kuno ra ang pag-ayo. Gabulig iti kay ginabligya man namon ra kisa may anuman may bayad kisa ra nga kung gusto namon ang bugas ang kagantang nga bugas ang kapanit niyang kraraw sang kagantang kagtenga sa gusto namon. Kun mawadan gawat kami just balom kag idareun pagid mo tukad. Ang aking mga bata kadya hindi ikamaan tanan. Kaya eskwela bay. Nakatapos ang high school lang man. Tiga obra mas taho. Tapos may mga pangabuhi naman sanda. Ang bilin ko lamang kadya mga high school, grade 10, grade 9, tapos grade 8, tapos amura ang gamay ko ay elementary sa amon hasta grade 6, pero ang akin nga nga high school sa may Barangbang sa San Remio. Matutok gidi ikaw kuan kang pagtuon ka para nga maaram ka. Tapos kara may nantuson ano tawag gani kara sa ay nantuson ikaw. Di siyempre di ako ni muon mo duro pa nga paagi mo nga imo nga himuon. Ay ti siyempre kun ura man ti matapas kadya ko ura yan bana ko abi may obra man tanang may takubra na. Ako magkay matapas ko ayan. Tapos ang tuson mo gid lang ibis kan lisod ra magtapas. Tapos ang ikaw pa mautod, ikaw pa mapihak kag do bilang iliasen mo kamo yung kadagkel. Pag isukdapon rin ako, ano gidi ang tuson mo gidi kundo ano kabudlay para nga may bilaan lang ikaw kang imo nga pangitanan. Si sari man kadya mahumanaken nga mga obra mga sakwayan naman bilin. Sari lang. Pero katuig rin ano katuig rin kay pila lang edad ko kato 19 ti 52 ako kadya rin. Lawid rin halin gid sa ano. Halin gid sa pag nag-aram ako nang sawahay kami. Ano. Sarap pa lang guro akong bata. Ang sa lugar namon amo dya kalabanan nga mga obra ka mga tao gid. Sang ka barangay amo dya ang pangbian ka mga tao. Mayaman ka tao didto, ra naman ti iba nga obra. Ti mas mayad na dya Kay kauna ka dya, ginahimo man dyang pinggan mo, ginasidlan man kang anon, uod. Ang gamay ka dya ay do, amo yang pwede mahimo ka butangan kang kanon. Kay pwede mo dya, dadaan man himuan, kakahig mo, madubol. Kay may nakahimo man ako kara mo. Amo dya kauna ginagamit bay, nga mga malam. Mahimo ka pinggan. Tapos kung mag-ninda ikaw, pwede nga mag-imo ikaw basket nga isidlan man kay mo mga grocery. Mura. Ami mo duman ko nga kauna sa imo paghambal nga do. Duman ko ano kabudlay yung pagtuon ko nga di ako kamaanaw. Nga nagaingad ko sa akin nga may bayaw kag ginasunod ang anang obra. Di bata ko pa kara ginalibutan ko lang kang mga lunan para nga di matumba. Beket pangayaw man taken taga San Remio man ako pero iba akong barangay. Rayo man akin nga barangay sa akin gina pamanaan balaraw. Ti astara ma'am nga ura man kami ti mabulaan kay pangtustos sa may mga bata kag sa pabulaan kung ano to kinanglanan naman ti amo gilang rai muon mo kura man ti mabulig nimo nga ano. Astara nga may grastuhan ako kag makasarang pa rai lawas ko ti amo gilang rai obrahan ko. Amo yan naman kung ay testing ko mamapakita kaninyo ay jata na simple lang mo obra. Ra rin ti budbud kag di ako kadara kay iba nga mga materialis nga gamitin ja karaw.
The next is history of jewelry in Philippines. The Philippines jewelry making trade has been in existence since the early 16th century. Historical records indicate that jewelry making dates back to the late Stone Age as evidenced by bracelets.
Gold is an understated natural resource of the Philippines. But the interaction between Filipinos and gold go way back to the pre-colonial era. Filipinos fashioned gold in their day-to-day lives by pegging their teeth with gold and even burying their dead with golden treasures. In the Spanish colonization of the Philippines back in the 16th century, Filipinos converted their gold resources into a symbol of religion or wealth, which is now known as tambourine filigree jewelry. For centuries, these pieces were passed on from generation to generation, and the craft, this was carried over as a family tradition. The jewelry and the craft served as valuable time capsules of Philippine history. Although Are they valued by the Filipinos as such? Learn more about the forgotten craft of tambourine filigree jewelry.
Next is metalcraft in Philippines. In the northern Philippines, a suggestion of what could be the oldest sign of metal in this country appeared in the Busan Cavite in Cagayan. This was a brass idol dated about 2000 BC in Palawan. Glass in the Guri caves. Some of our product is used in other country.
Mga espada na ginamit sa Lord of the Rings gawa sa Pilipinas. Silipin kung paano ginagawa ng isang pandayan sa Pangasinan ang mga espada na bumida sa mga bigating Hollywood film. Yan ang patok na balita ni Nico Bawa.
Walang tigil ang pagpupukpok ng bakal ng mga panday sa Pozorubio, Pangasinan. Mula raw nang kinontrata sila ng mga producer ng pelikulang Lord of the Rings para gumawa ng mga espada, wala nang tigil ang order sa kanila.
Ito yung espada ni Aragorn sa pelikulang Lord of the Rings. Ito daw yung pinakamabenta nilang espada. Sa ngayon, ang capacity nilang gumawa nito ay 3 kada linggo. Pero minsan, nauubusan pa raw sila.
Ipinakita rin ang mga replika ng espada sa pelikulang Braveheart, mga kutsilyo sa pelikulang Rambo at ilang espada sa iba pang medieval movies. Ngayon, nagdagdag na sila ng mga trabahador.
Natuturuan namin na magtrabaho. Yun siguro ang naitutulong namin, yung mabigyan sila ng hanap buhay. Masaya rin sir at nakakatulong ako sa mga trabahador ko.
Kung sa kalidad, kayang putulin ng kanilang kutsilyo ang isang kumpol ng mga pako.
Yung kanpo sir, yung pag hindi po matigas yung pagkakasubo niya, dapat po yung ito pong kanya dapat po basag po yan sir.
Balak nilang palakasin ang kanilang merkado sa Amerika. Umaasa sila sa pamamagitan ng kanilang negosyo, marami pa ang mabibigyan nila ng trabaho at patuloy nakikilalanin ang galing ng mga panday sa Pangasinan. Para sa Bandila, Nico Bawa.
And this is metalcraft in Philippines.
Amongst Halman's prized possessions are a variety of ancient Tausug weapons.
This is the barong. The story goes, the barong is the one the Tausug warriors used to cut off an M14, a carbine, because the blade is thick. As you can hear it, it's pure.
The barong was a deadly weapon, a sword with a single-edged leaf-shaped blade made of thick tempered steel. This approximately 1 meter long weapon was used in close hand-to-hand battle to cut Spanish firearms down to size. The kris or kalis was both a weapon of warfare and ceremony. This sword, measuring up to 1.2 meters in length, was not only carried by slave raiders into battle, but also by nobles and high-ranking officials of the southern sultanates. Double-edged and with either a smooth or wavy blade, the kris could make quick work of any enemy in close combat.
The reason for these curvings is for easy slashing. The steel would penetrate the bone and it would stick, so it's very hard to pull. So the Tausug warriors made it like this, so you can actually pull it faster.
The longest of the swords used by the raiders, primarily the Ilanun, was the kampilan. This heavy, single-edged sword was often adorned with hair to make it look even more intimidating. It was also common to find kampilan with grooves cut into the blade to indicate the number of lives it had claimed.
At the end of the blade, at the tip of the blade, are 2 horns projecting from the blunt side, which is being used to pick up the head of a decapitated body.
ang balanse niya ay nandito. Oh. Ito ay ang Bontok axe. Gusto ko lang i-illustrate yung kung ano yung properties ng axe na to. Nakaka-amaze kasi first time kong makahawak ng totoong axe na ganito. Ito ay medyo luma. Mula sa itsura ng kahoy, itsura ng bakal, siguro mga 80s o 70s, mga ganon yung pagkagawa sa kanya. Ang distinct features ng Bontok axe is yung head niya na medyo super slightly napaka-curve yung taas. Tapos may spike yung kabilang side. So yun yung distinct feature niya. Tapos yung pinaka-bit niya o yung sharp edge niya, yung iba straight, yung iba medyo pa-curve. This one is medyo pa-curve ng konti. As compared to the ibang axe, kunyari yung sa Kalinga, sharp edge niya, pa ganun, patusok. So meron pa rin parang bill sa dulo. Ito flat lang. Bontok axe. Nakuha natin to mula kay Mr. Aaron Pocais ng Tabuk, Kalinga. I-message nyo siya. Meron siya mga pinupost ng mga interesting na items, interesting na mga blades. From his part of Luzon, tawag daw nila dito sa ibang lugar ay gamen, gaman, saway, wasay. Yan. Meron pang ibang tawag dito sa axe na to. So, nung paghawak ko sa kanya, nag-jump out sa akin na properties niya is hindi siya ganun kabigat. Para siyang itak lang yung bigat niya. Hindi siya kasing bigat ng axe. Na usually mabigat yung axe, yung ulo ng axe mabigat. Tapos yung handle niya makapal. This one is manipis yung handle. Tapos yun pa pala, yung distinction niya sa ibang axe ng Mountain Province. Sa Kalinga axe, itong handle ng Bontok axe is straight lang. Wala siyang knob. Kasi yung sa Kalinga axe, merong knob dito sa gitna usually. Para hindi maglumusot yung kamay mo pag ginagamit mo. Pero this one, wala siyang knob anywhere. Straight lang. Tapos, pagkahawak mo sa kanya, pag pinitik mo yung ulo, matining. Bato. I'm not sure kung yung buong head niya may subo, pero buong head niya ay matining. Maganda. Yun. Tapos, isa pang standout na quality niya is yung balance. Usually, itong Bontok axe ay dala-dala na sa waist lang ng Ifugao people, ng mga Igorot. Nasa waist lang. Tapos, ang balance niya ay nandito. Oh. Balanse nandito. Tapos kapag kinikerry siya, parang usually may tali lang siya dito. Tapos nasa waist ng Ifugao. Tapos ito daw, construction na to, usually ginagamit for agricultural purposes. Itong tip na to, ito yung pinagdidebatihan pa ng ilan kasi wala pa akong nakakausap na taga-Bontok actually or taga-Ifugao na magkikwento tungkol dito sa axe na to. Siyempre, sa iba't ibang mga kwento, this is called the head hunting axe. Pagka daw, kunyari, naglaban, tapos putol ng ulo, ito daw yung pang bit-bit. Actually, merong picture, ang isang colonial artist noong panahon ng mga Kastila na gamit itong axe na to, tapos may nakapatong na ulo dito. Pero picture lang, drawing lang yon, artist depiction. Hindi natin alam kung mismong siya yung nakakita nung practice na yon or naikwento lang din sa kanya. Pero yun yung nasa artist depiction. Kung titingnan natin, parang may practical purpose pa rin naman itong spike na to. Pwede kasi siyang ipangtusok sa lupa. Pwede siya ipangtusok sa lupa para yung sharp edge niya ay nakatingala. Kung ano mang meron kang gustong ikat, patong mo sa kanya, tapos tanggalin mo, okay na ulit. So, meron siyang practical purpose. Or, pwede rin naman pangdukal ng lupa. Di ba? Pwede. pangdukal ng lupa, tapos saka mo siya itataga sa kung ano mang kailangan mong itaga. Tapos, pag tiningnan mo closely yung axe niya, iba't ibang tapering meron dito sa axe na ito. Ibig sabihin tapering from makapal papanipis. Kunyari dito sa base niya. Mula sa pinagkabitan ng handle, papalayo, numinipis na kagad. Ito makapal, ito mas manipis. Tapos, dito sa top side niya, manipis, papakapal. Mas makapal dito kaysa dito. Papakapal. So, makapal, papanipis, manipis, manipis, tumakapal. So ito yung pinaka widest point part niya ng blade. Tapos dito naman, ganun din, makapal, papanipis, hanggang sa makarating dun sa cutting edge niya, sa biting edge. Very interesting yung pagkakagawa sa kanya. Hindi siya isang flat sheet of metal na kinat, kundi isa siya talagang bakal na pinanday. At tapos yung bakal yung ferrule. Kinakalawang na bakal yung ferrule. Di natin alam kung ito ay pipe tubing. Mukhang tubo, pero makapal siya eh. Makapal yung inside wall, yung wall ng tubo. Tapos itong kahoy, sabi nila pwede daw ito ay bahi. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung ano. Pero solid din. Solid din yung kahoy. Very powerful chops. Nga kasi forward heavy siya. So pag tinama mong ganon, talagang babaon. Lalo na siguro kung hinasa natin to. Hindi ko kasi to hinasa. Nilinis ko lang yung edge. Although dahil sa edad niya, I think medyo kumakalog-kalog na siya. Okay, try natin isa pa dito. Ay siguro 1 inch thick or 1.5 inch thick. Hindi natin alam kung tatama. Very powerful. Lakas yan tumira. Concentrated lang siya dito sa maliit na cutting edge niya. Kaya malakas talaga na pang chop ang axe. Bontok axe. So yan, ito ang ating video tungkol sa bontok axe. Kung meron pa kayo ibang video na gustong gawin natin, i-comment nyo lang sa baba. Muli, maraming salamat sa panonood dito sa ating video. Pinoy Blade Hunter, signing off.
The law relating to the transfer of ownership of property from one person to another for value, which is codified in Article 2 of the Uniform Commercial Code UCC, a body of law governing mercantile transactions adopted in whole or in part by the states. Uniform Commercial Code Article 2 governs the sale of goods. It was part of the original Uniform Commercial Code approved in 1951. Article 2 represented a revision and modernization of the Uniform Sales Act, which was originally approved by the National Conference of Commissioners on uniform state laws in 1906. Due to modernization, changes in lifestyle, livelihood, and spiritual inclination, many have forgotten about their culture. Income generating activities such as handicraft businesses and food security are among their needs and aspirations, with the potential that indigenous entrepreneurship has in improving their cultural and economic status. This study aims to identify which craft in their material culture can be publicly shared as tourism products and to assess the landscape within which indigenous entrepreneurship can be undertaken. Many of 110 ethno-linguistic indigenous groups in the Philippines experience discrimination, degradation of resource bases, and armed conflict. IP communities, generally located in distinct ancestral territories, have high rates of unemployment, underemployment, and illiteracy. Republic Law 8371, known as the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act or IPRA, was enacted in 1997. It has been praised for its support for the cultural integrity of indigenous peoples, the right to their lands, and the right to self-directed development of these lands. The problems faced by the unorganized sector of artisans are lack of skill, less exposure to the information and technology, lack of formal training, marketing support, non-competitive products, and etc. The handicraft artisan suffers a lot due to being unorganized, lack of education, low capital, poor exposure to new technologies, absence of market intelligence, and poor institutional framework. Traditional arts, or TA, provides a shared experience for the community. Values and belief systems are often embedded in these art forms and passed down through generations. As such, they form a common language through which we can engage the various communities that make up our society or heritage. Handicrafts are very important in terms of economic development. They provide ample employment opportunities even with low capital investments and become a prominent medium for foreign income. Before industrial development, this art and industry were a potential economic advantage for the country. Handicrafts are also a very important role in preserving the culture and traditions of our country. They are concrete evidence of our rich traditional art, skills, and talents, as well as the Filipino way of life and history.